So welcome back, everybody. Expenses problem number 2. Let's get started. So what's the first thing it says here? Anybody?
Activate class tracking in the data file.
Okay. All right. So does anybody remember how to activate class tracking or what class tracking is?
I think class tracking is by just separate your income and expense.
Good. Good. All right. So how do you turn that on? Or how do you, activate it? In this case, that's what QuickBooks is asking you to do. How do you activate that?
Do you go in your company setup?
Company setup. How do you do, where do I go there? How do I get there?
And
Okay, it's not going to be through company setup. You're not asked for class tracking. However, it's in the same territory. Anybody? Okay, I'll give you another hint. After you've gone to your company setup and you've gone through the easy step interview, or also known as the detailed set start, how do I edit my information or how do I change some of my settings?
It's a company preference.
How do you go to company preferences?
Just gonna be edit.
Edit? Where?
Yeah. A menu bar.
Yes, edit menu bar.
And then click preference.
Preferences.
And then
Yes. Okay, so this one's going to be under accounting. Preferences. And right here it says use class tracking for transactions. So here, I've activated it and I'm going to click OK. All right, step number 1's done. What does step number 2 say? Using the data below. Okay, so I have to add a new vendor. How do I add a new vendor?
go to customer.
Go to customers. How do I, okay, so how do I go to vendors? Homepage. What's another way to get to the vendor center?
the menu bar.
Menu bar. Vendor center. And what's the last one? Yes, you do have a vendor center on the icon bar. Right, okay, one more. There you go. Vendors. Okay. So now that I'm in the vendor center, how do I add a new vendor? There's only 2 ways.
Click on new vendor at the top.
Click on new vendor at the top. Good.
And then right click.
Right click anywhere. Doesn't matter who, doesn't matter what, you click anywhere. So new vendor. All right, so now that we were already here, we clicked to enter in a new vendor. So what is this vendor, or who is this vendor? What company do they belong to?
This day. Photography.
Say that again.
East
Uh,
Bay Photography Services.
East Bay Photography.
Services.
Okay. So East Bay Photography Services. Okay. Okay. Is there someone who owns it or a person you like to address? Who is it? Mr. Frank. How do you spell his last name? Okay. ARTZ. Okay. Does he have a job title? I'm assuming he's probably the owner.
Consultant.
Oh, a
Consultant.
consultant.
Uh-huh.
Elaine, it's Irina. Sorry, I had trouble with the computer, so I'm in.
No worries. I saw your text. All right. So what's your main phone number?
Phone number.
Cool. Okay. And does this guy is his main phone number the same as his work phone number or assuming? Okay. So does this person have an email address? Okay. Frank dot at EB.
Photo. B-I-Z.
Okay. So assuming that his website is going to be www.ebphoto.biz.
B-I-Z. This.
All right. Does his company have an address? What is it?
4950.
49 4950
Yes, Alma Avenue.
A
L-M-E.
ALME
L-A-A-L-M-E. Alma.
Avenue.
Avenue. A-B-E.
Okay.
And then Castro Valley, California, 94500.
What was the city?
Castro Valley.
I have no. Look, I'm gonna
Yeah, Castro Valley.
Castro.
Castro Valley, California, CA 94500.
Can you spell for me?
Uh,
Oh, Castro. Oh, Castro. Oh, okay. Castro
Castro
Valley,
Valley,
CA
California, 94500.
94500. Okay, good. Now I'm gonna assume that they are the same. So I'm gonna click OK. All right. I don't need to have Frank's name actually in there, so I can probably edit that. That's why here, edit. Okay, so we're not going to include Frank's name. We're only going to include just the business name. Okay. Okay. So there you go. All right. Any other additional information I need to know about this vendor? Okay. Okay, you can always edit his profile at any given time. So we're gonna click OK. So here he is, East Bay Photography Services, right there. Okay. So what does step 3 say now?
Print the vendor contact list from the reports menu.
Okay. All right. So you can do the reports menu. What's the second way you can do it? What's the second way you can access the reports and print them? Not on the vendor list.
Homepage.
Not the home page.
Banking.
Not banking. We're looking at the vendor list. How do you print out the vendor contact list besides going to the menu bar?
Vendor center.
Not the vendor center. You cannot print the list off the vendor center.
On this vendor.
Customer center.
Customer center, no. We're talking about vendors. And if you click on a specific person, you're only getting the information on that specific person. It's asking me to print out the whole list of vendors.
Lynn,
Mm-hmm.
click on print
Print where?
right underneath, right next to Excel.
Right next to
It's right under
Excel.
reports,
Okay.
right there.
Vendor list. Okay, so that's okay. Let's see if that works. Okay, so it's telling me to just print it automatically. So okay, I guess that's another way you can do it. But let's try a different way. What's another way that you can do it?
Lists.
Lists.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And vendor. Customer and vendor.
Customer and vendor.
Vendor type list.
Okay, we're not looking at vendor type list. We're looking at contact information.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Good try though.
One report.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. It's on the icon bar.
Icon bar.
Mm-hmm.
Icon bar.
reports.
Reports. Yes. So remember, this is the report center. Okay. So the difference between the menu bar is the menu will give you every single item that you can think of that can do a report. Okay. This is the actual this is the actual report center. All right. You can go through the report center. You go to list and then you can find your contact list, whether it's by vendor or not. All right. So of course, we can take a look at it. It gives you an overview. It gives you a list right here. So here's the information. And this, I can also customize it too. I can customize it with phone numbers, addresses, etc., etc. Okay? So this is a more flexible way to go ahead and do this because you can manipulate the report here as well. Okay? Again, I'm not going to print this out, so just making sure that you guys know where to go. So even if you go to the reports and go to list and print out your vendor contact list, okay? You'd be able to do the same thing. Once you get here, you can customize it however you'd like, okay? So there's 2 ways or 3 now that you can also print it out on the vendor center. But yes, okay, good. What is next?
Enter check number 331 directly into the checking register.
Okay,
Transfer value hardware.
okay. So we're going to be entering a check transaction. So why is it that we're entering it directly into the check register? What could be a possibility why we do this? Why are we entering a random transaction directly into a register?
Because we may have went into the store and bought it.
Correct. You might have written a check, a physical check, at the store, and you're recording it. Good. Now, there are 3 ways you can get to the check register. That's one way.
Homepage, check register.
Okay. What's another way? Menu, banking. Okay. And then here you can use register. Okay. Good. What's the last way you can get to the check register? This may be a tricky question. How do you get, what's the last way to get to the checking register? Not write checks. Go ahead, Irina.
The homepage check register.
We already did the homepage. We already did the menu bar. There's one more way. Okay, I'll give you a little hint. When after you've created your company file, what's the first thing that you need to create? What do you have to have before making any transaction in QuickBooks?
Chart of accounts.
Chart of accounts. Yes, you go to the chart of accounts, double click on checking, you have your register right here. Okay, so again, chart of accounts, you can be able to enter any transactions as long as it has a register. So any asset, liability, or equity account all have registers. All income and expenses are quick reports. So you can enter in anything as long as it has a register. So again, we're going to go to the checking register. And what does it say to do? We're going to be adding an entry here. We're putting in what date?
1/8/19.
Okay, so January. January 18, you said? 8. January 8, 2019. What is the check number? It automatically filled in as 331. Okay.
Payable to Oswald Office Supply.
AWLD. Office supply. Okay. Office supply store. Oh. Oh, okay. That's fine. All right. So, if I click tab, it's going to say, this person doesn't exist in your books. Would you like to quick add? Yes. And then it's going to ask you, is this a vendor, customer, employee, or other name? Well, obviously it's a vendor. Okay. So, for what amount did I pay? $725? $725?
Yeah.
Okay. And what account am I going to locate this stuff in?
For both, for San Jose and Walnut Creek.
Okay, so we're doing a split payment.
Excuse me, what
Yes.
problem are we doing? Are we doing 1 or 2?
We're doing problem number 2.
Oh, so that information is for problem 1.
Yeah, it's
Is it?
problem. That's a problem one.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, so problem number 4 says enter a check. Problem 4 says enter a check number 331 directly into the check register on January 12th. Okay, so that's what I was thinking too. I was like, okay, so number 4, I was like, are you sure it was 725? Okay, good. So now we know we're on problem number 2, question number 4.
Sorry about that.
No worries. So good thing. Luckily, it's the same account number, same everything. So the date is actually on the 12th of January, right? Or is it 12th of February?
January 12th. January 12th.
January 12th, and it's to who?
It's
Castro Valley Hardware.
Castro Valley Hardware.
Hardware.
Okay. The check number is the same, so that's good. All right. What's the amount for? I think this is 6.
7.
Okay, wait. Quick add. Yes, vendor. Okay. For 677 even. Got it. All right. And what account number am I going to be using? I have to have an account for this hardware stuff. I have to associate this.
There's no account number.
Split the expense 350 to office supplies. It's to office supplies. So I'm going to go ahead and, first I have to validate it. So office supplies. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and enter. Okay, so there's my payment. Now, how do I split it? How do I split this payment? Oh, wait, hold on. It went way up here. So what was it? Check number 331. 331. So it's, okay. 331 right here. Okay.
Itemize.
How do I
300 for office.
do that?
Itemize.
How?
Office supplies 300.
How?
And click splits. We
Click.
go splits. We click splits. No.
Not in the memo. There is no room in the memo. Okay.
We open the check and
Good.
we're going to click splits.
Okay. In 2018, you will have a button right here that says split. In this one, I can just directly do it. Okay. So again, we're splitting office supplies. Okay. So we have office supplies for how much?
300.
300. And where am I placing this $300 of office supplies? What class am I putting it? San Jose. San Jose. Okay. And what's the second portion going to be split for?
Repair maintenance.
What kind? What maintenance? Repair?
Maintenance.
Repair maintenance. Repair and maintenance, okay? For
377.
clear this out. Okay, for 377. Okay, and this one's too? Walnut Creek. Okay, so good. So at the end of the day, my amount's still the same, 677. All right, here I split my payment, and now I can click Save and Close. All right, do you want to make these changes? Yes. Okay, so as you can see, it says here, 331 split. Okay, good. So you have to open up the check before you can itemize it. All right, and how I did it was I just double clicked on it, and there you go. It opens up the check. All right. What is next?
Using write checks, enter a check, print letter to Orlando Properties, date January 12, 2019 for 1,500 for rent at the San Jose store. Make the check printable, but don't print the check.
Okay. So here we're going to pay another check to Orlando Properties. Oh, wrong one. So how do I do that? How do home page? Good. Home page. Write a check. And what's the second way? Banking. Where? Banking on the menu bar. Write a check. Okay. Let's make deposit. Right here. First one. Write a check. Okay. So there you go. And I'm writing this check to Orlando Properties. Oh wait, no, this is the wrong one. This is the checking account. So checking. Okay, and then here is where I put Orlando Properties. Orlando Properties. Okay. Now because I set this as a memorized bill, which we'll talk about, I believe in chapter either 13, we learned about memorized stuff like this. Here you go. So because I memorized this bill, it has now saying every time I enter in Orlando Properties, it will fill in this for me because it's someone that has a repeated or a bill that is a reoccurring. So this is what it does. It saves you time by just typing in the vendor's name. It will automatically pull a bill for you. So this is a memorized bill. Okay. So as you can see, everything is filled in for the amount which we have to write in here, which is $1,500, you guys said? Yeah. Okay, what date did I pay this? January 12th. So my date's already selected. And it says to select to print it later, but make it printable. So here you go. I select up here at the top to print it later. So therefore, my check number has disappeared, okay? If I didn't, it's right there. Okay, so I've made the check printable later. So again, I typed in the date, the amount for my the bill I have to pay, and for the memo, I need to also indicate that I am paying rent for San Jose store. Okay? And same thing here, because we have classes, we're going to make this expense dedicated to San Jose. All right. Everything looks good. Save and close. All right. So now I recorded the bill, or I've recorded the check payment to Orlando Properties on that very same day. So as you come here, you can see that Orlando Properties to be printed is right here. Okay. So what is next?
Enter bill number to is 9904 from Nellis Distributing on 1/18/19.
Okay.
With terms of next system.
Okay, so we have to enter in a bill for Nellis Distributing. Distributing. So, just like how I asked how to enter in an invoice, how do I enter a bill?
homepage.
Homepage. That's one.
Interviews.
Then vendor center bill.
Vendor center. So if I go to the homepage to the vendor center,
No, menu bar.
menu bar.
Enter bills.
Good. That's two.
And
So once we're in the vendor center,
new transaction.
new transaction. Yes, you can enter a bill that way.
Right click and vendors.
So if I go to Nellis, Nellis, I can right click and enter a bill. Good. That's four.
We have 6.
Manage transaction.
Manage transactions, yes. Bills. Okay. One more. Okay, I'll give you a hint. It's on the icon bar.
New transaction.
Icon bar. We already did new transactions. Okay. When we're dealing with vendors, what are we creating? Bill tracker, yes. Once you get to bill tracker, you can enter bills just this way by clicking bills. Since I'm already here, I'm going to enter a bill. All right. So, who am I entering this bill for? Or never mind. I remember now. Nellis.
Manage distributing.
Okay. Boom. All right. The date of this is going to be the same, the 12th? Okay. And do I have a bill number? Yes, I do. What number is it? Okay. And for how much is this bill for? $520. Now you can enter it here, or if you have your items, you can also tally it that way. So I believe this is different, right? My terms?
Net 15.
Net 15. Okay. So what were the things that I'm being billed for? Okay, so we're being billed, okay? For Nellis distribution for, okay. Okay. Item net, okay. Okay. We're being billed for the purchase of supplies for Bob Mason. So code the bill cost of goods sold, okay? And we're going to make it attached to Bob Mason because he's the customer that we're providing this specific office supplies for, okay? So cost of goods sold is already here. We're going to enter in, what was it, 525? 520?
20.
And, okay, my memo here is going to be supplies for Bob Mason, okay? So make sure that because we're buying this for Mr. Bob Mason, he's going to be the customer or the customer / job that we're going to be placing him in, okay? So, and we'll talk about this when we move on to chapter 9, billable things. Okay, so good. So we have Bob Mason in here, and class is San Jose. Good. All right. Anything other than that, that looks good. Invoice, or we already have the reference number, okay, for $520. Okay, good. Save and close. So now that we've entered the bill, here it pops up here. So what is next?
Enter bill number, it is next, 4274.
So we're going to enter another bill. So I guess I'm already here at my new transactions. I'm going to go ahead and enter the bill. For who? Sinclair?
Sinclair Insurance on January 19, 2019 for 1,200.
For 1,200, and it is for insurance expense. For, you said 1,200?
Yes,
Okay. Memo. Is there a specific place I am buying this insurance for?
It's for both stores, the San Jose and Walnut Creek.
Okay, insurance, okay. All right.
Tickets
Do I need to split the payment or no?
Yes.
yes,
Okay, so I need to do insurance expense for San Jose.
50% for San Jose
Okay.
and 50% for Walnut.
Okay, so insurance expense. All right, so 600 for both?
yes,
600. 600. Okay. Insurance expense, San Jose. Here, insurance expense, Walnut Creek. Okay. Same thing here. We're going to place it here under the classes. So we have San Jose for the first one, and we have Walnut Creek for the second one. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and write in the memo, insurance expense for both store locations. I don't know, whatever. So again, is there a reference number? Yes. It does. It says enter bill number
4274.
4274.
yes,
Okay, perfect. So here we place the information here. It's due net 30. Good. We split the cost between San Jose and Walnut Creek, just like this. We itemized it, and the total is for $1,200. Okay, save and close. All right. Now it says the next part is to print out the unpaid detail list. So where can we find that?
Print.
Where we gotta locate it first before we can print it.
reports,
We go to reports, vendors and payables,
vendors, yeah.
unpaid bills detail. So we can go here. Of course, you have to toggle the date, so make sure you do it accordingly. But in this case, I never paid them, so they're still going to be populated here. Okay, so I have one for Sinclair and one for Nellis. Okay, that's the one that we just entered in. All right. I'm not going to print it, but that's how you locate it. So what's the next question?
Pay all the bills
Pay all the bills. Okay.
due on or before February 28, 2019.
Okay. So
Pay bills.
we need to pay our bills. How do we pay our bills? Okay. Lynette, you said checking. That is wrong.
Homepage,
Homepage pay bills,
homepage,
Yes. Why can I not use Why can I not use my checking account to pay my bills? Or write a check option. Why can I not use that to pay my bills?
Because it won't reflect in the payables?
Correct. That's right. If you use the write a check or checking option, it will not associate any bills that you already have that's already in the enter bills section. It will not recognize, or the QuickBooks cannot will not recognize the transaction that you're doing by paying the bills using the write a check or check register option. So you have, if you enter in a bill, you have to, in order to decrease the bill, you need to use the pay bill option. Okay. Now for the pay bill option, all of them are the same exact ways. Okay. So you have it on the home page. You have it on the vendor center when you go into the icon bar. You also have it on the bill tracker. Okay. You also have it under vendors. Okay. Pay bills. Right. Even when you go to the vendor center, right, you have the option at the top for new transactions, pay bills. You can right click them and be able to pay the bills. And you can also, if you're on that specific person, you can come down to the bottom and be able to pay the bill, okay, or receive payments, whatever it's called, bill payment right here. Now, another thing that you can do too is let's go ahead and go to Nellis. Right, this is the special one. If you go to Nellis and you do all transactions, you can pull up the bill. Okay, you can pull up the bill, and at the very top you have the pay bill option. Okay, so I'm just gonna go exit all of this. I know I went through everything, but I am gonna go here on the home page and select the pay bills option. Now here it tells me, do I want to show all my bills? So this is what it looks like when you do your pay bills option. Okay. So here you can select all the bills that you want to pay, or you can select certain ones. So again, they gave you a cap. They gave you due dates. So you can click here, due, either or on or before, and you can select the date. So in this case, we want to make sure we pay all bills that are due either on January 20th or before. So when I select that, I don't show anything. Okay, is it before January?
On or before 2/28.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're paying on the 20th. Okay, so we want to do February 28th. Okay, so now it shows up all three. Okay, so we need to make a payment to Nellis, Wong and Fu, or Wong and Son, and Sinclair. So I can click this button here and it'll be able to select all of them. Or I can select one at a time. Okay, what does it also say? I have to make them due all on the 20th of January. Okay. So here you go. I'm making a payment. So here I can select which bill I want to look at if I want to look at every single one. None of them have any discounts that I can take because they were all net. Okay. So, and we did not receive any credits as far as I know. All right. So then we're going to go ahead and go down here. We're going to write checks. Okay. And are we going to print them now or print them later? Print them later. Okay. Same thing here. We need to make sure that this is to the check is going to be taken out of our checking account. So here we're going to write a total of 3 checks in the total of $1,862. All right. Everything looks good. We selected every single bill. And we can go ahead and pay selected bills.
Question.
Yes.
So those bills,
Mhm.
and the method payment is check, you don't necessarily have to put how many checks you'll be printing. It's just automatically print for each and every one.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm. Now, you can also select, let's say I only want to pay Nellis and I only want to pay Sinclair, right? I don't want to pay Wong. I can uncheck him, and now that if I pay these bills, I'm only paying these two bills. So you don't have to select every single one. You can choose which bills to pay.
What I'm saying is, if since you check, regardless of how many bills you're paying there, when the method of payment is checked, it will automatically print individually. What
Yes,
you,
of course. You can.
yeah, I mean, but what I'm saying is, you don't necessarily have to put how many checks you have to write or whatever.
No, because obviously every check mark that you have is a separate bill or a separate payment. Okay, unless they're from the same person, then you may possibly group them all together. And you can do that by filtering them.
Also, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and click pay selected bills. Okay, so I just got 3 beeps of approval, meaning that was check all 3 checks. So as it comes here, I can either print the checks now or I can print them later. So again, I'm gonna choose done because I'm not gonna print them out. Okay, so what's the next question?
Enter credit card charge on the National Bank Visa card.
Okay, so we're gonna enter a credit card transaction here. Okay, how do we do that?
We're going in vendors.
Not
Yeah.
vendors, oh, okay, I see what you mean. Okay, we go to vendors,
Yeah, right click
right click.
and the vendors.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I can see there.
Okay, sorry. Let me see. It says when I right click on the vendor,
Enter credit card charge.
enter credit card charges. Okay, good. Good. All right. I'm going to go ahead and click no because I want to show you other ways. Okay, there's 3 more other ways. Okay. So the home page, obviously right here, enter credit card charges. Okay. You can also go to banking and be able to enter in a credit card charges. And then the last one is going to obviously be the chart of accounts. You can actually go to the National Visa credit card account and actually enter it in using the register. So National Bank Visa, you can actually enter it in manually here. Okay. So I'm going to go back out to the home page because that's my go-to. Enter credit card transaction. So again, first thing first is if you have multiple credit cards, make sure you select the correct one. In this case, we only have one. Yes. So what am I charging?
Lakeside Office Supply from
Is it a
National Bank Visa. Lakeside Office Supply.
Lake? I don't think that is a vendor in here. Lake. No, it's not. So I have to add them in here. Office supply.
Yes.
I cannot type to save my life. Okay, there you go. Lakeside Office Supply. Obviously, there's no vendor that exists here. So I'm going to go ahead and press tab. And what's going to happen is it says you have to quick add. And I'm going to say yes, and it's a vendor. Okay. So what did I buy from them?
Office supply.
Office supplies. Okay? In the amount of what?
109.98.
109.98.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is this for just what location am I buying these office supplies for? Walnut Creek. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and write here. Was there a specific office supply I bought? No, so I'm just gonna write office supplies. Okay, memo here is okay. And because I already have the amount here, it automatically reflected up here. Do I have a reference number for this one? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Date. When did I make this credit card charge?
January 20.
January what?
25.
25. Okay. All right. Now that I've created my credit card charges, okay, I'm going to go ahead and click Save and Close. All right. And I'd be able to view it using what? If I go to my register here, right, I can actually, let me see, I don't think I have it here. I actually have to go to my chart of accounts to view my credit card charges. So if I go to National Bank, Visa, I pull it up. Here's my credit card transaction for Lakeside Office Supply right here. Okay. All right. Let me see. All right. It is actually 11:30. Let's see what other questions we can answer first, and then we'll call it a day. So the next one says, okay, we already paid all the bills. Print all the checks. We entered in the credit card information. Whew, almost done. So what happened on question number 12? Enter bill for Ace Supply. Okay, I'm going to skip that one. Enter bill credit. Okay, never mind. We should do this one since it's a bill credit. Okay, so go ahead and let's do number 12. So enter in the bill number this for Ace Supply for January 25th for $229. And let's see what we bought. Cost of goods sold. Supplies for Ron Berry job. Ron Berry is a customer, all right, at the San Jose store. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. We're going to enter in a bill. So I'm going to close my credit card, close this. Since I'm already on the home page, I'm going to go ahead and click enter bills. And it was for Ace Supply. All right. And we made this transaction on the 25th of January. Okay. What was my bill? What's my bill or reference number? 4625
35.
235. Okay.
35.
235?
So 4635.
Oh, okay. 4635. Okay, good. All right. We're making a purchase for cost of goods sold, so no office supplies. So let me get rid of this account. Cost of goods sold, because we decided to do another purchase of supplies for Mr. Ron Berry. Ron Berry. Okay? And it is at the San Jose location. All right? So here we are buying supplies for Ron Berry. Okay, and what amount am I charging for?
229.
229 even. Okay, same up here. Memo is going to be supplies for Ron Berry. Okay, so we look at this bill. Go ahead.
Term 30.
Terms net 30. Okay, so I guess we're not giving this guy any. Oh, wrong one. Net 30, not net 60. Good. All right, here's the bill. And now I'm going to go ahead and save and close. Okay, what does this say? We have made changes to the terms. Yes. Okay, so good. Now we have entered that bill. So what does the next one say? We have to enter in a bill credit on January 30th for a supply. Now, what are we doing this for?
For Ron Berry.
Okay. We're receiving a credit for Ron Berry, right? Okay. So I guess we made an adjustment here. So we're going to be receiving a credit for that. Now, how do you receive a credit? How do you receive a credit?
Homepage, enter bill.
Homepage, enter bills. Good. If you click the homepage, enter bills, you have this little option to toggle between a bill or a credit. Okay, so in this case, we are creating a credit memo because we decided to adjust Ron Berry's bill, right? For some reason, we decided to either return an object or we have to call up the vendor and say, wait, I need to make changes to this person's invoice. So this one, we're going to, it's going to be a credit for a supply, okay? And it's going to be for January 30th. And the reference number is going to be the same exact, so 4653 with a letter C for credit. Okay? And it's going to go credit back to our cost of goods sold. And how much is this credit for? 50? Okay, same thing. We're going to write credit for Ron Berry. All right, customer slash job is going to be Ron Berry. And it's for the San Jose location. Okay. So now that I've created my credit, I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Or click Save and Close. Now, once I've done that, now I need to go locate the vendor, because now I need to do something to that credit, right? Now that I have a credit, right? When I pay, okay. So when I receive a payment or receive a bill, okay, which I've already did, I can apply that credit to that bill. So then when I make a payment to this person, right? So as I go to a supply, I see that I have, oh, I guess I changed the number by accident. It's supposed to be 3534? So if I recognize this bill, right, I have a total amount of, what is it, $229. Okay, so I'm going to change this to 5. Save it. So I have a total amount that due is $229, okay? So I believe the next step is to make a payment. Is that correct? All right, apply the credit to the bill number 4635 and pay the remaining and on a printed check. Okay, so again, I'm going to go to my bill. So I'm here already. Okay, if I click pay this bill, okay, and I'm okay, I'll just okay. Okay, so if I go ahead and pay this bill, I select this bill and I'm going to pay it, right? Now, because I have a credit, I can go ahead and go over here and set any credits that I have, which we did. We created that one credit for $50. So here, I'm going to validate that, yes, I'm going to apply this $50 credit. Done. Once I do that, now my new balance is now $50 less. It's only for $179. All right. Once I validate that, I'm gonna pay. When am I making the payment on? The oh, we're paying. Okay, perfect. And we're gonna select to be printed, and it's gonna be to checking. And here we set our credit. So here we have a vendor credit. We're applying it to the invoice. To the bill. So now I'm only going to make a check for $179, and I can go ahead and set the payment. Now here it is. I get that that option to print the checks. Again, I'm going to click done. Okay. So now that I have this, it should indicate that this bill has been paid. Okay. And if I go to my window here, I have a bill payment right here. Bill payment. Okay. And I applied the check already for $179. Now there's only two ways you can print checks. So we just saw the first one, which is when you get that window after making a payment for a bill, it's going to ask you to either print the checks now or continue doing the rest of your process. So what's the way that you need to do to print checks? Not homepage. There's no print checks option on homepage.
Pay checks.
Where do you go? How do you get there? On the right. Homepage. Oh, I guess I do have it. Okay, there's two ways. So you got print checks here. Okay, and you got the list of checks here. What's the second way to print the checks? Not banking. Actually, wait, let's see. Banking. I don't think there is one on banking. Banking. That's write a check. This is printing a check.
Oh, printing. Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay, so none here. Okay. So for any reason that you need to print out anything, it's pretty standard because most applications it's file and you print, right? So this is the same thing here. So you're going to go here and click print forms. Print forms, so you can either choose to do bill payment stubs, you could do print checks, you can do credit memos, invoices, labels, etc., and here you can also print your checks. Okay, the checks, print checks. Okay, this is standard to most applications is file print. Okay, so yes, so I'm gonna go ahead and I already exited it out, so I'm gonna go to print checks here on this on the home page. Okay, so now it says to select all the checks to be printed, so I'm gonna print all of these checks. And what number am I going to associate these checks with? 6005. Okay, so that's the first check. So in the order that you see here, it's the order that it's going to be printed in. So obviously, it doesn't matter what date they are, but obviously you're going to want to print the most recent ones first because when you send them out, of course, you want to make sure that you have them printed out. But of course, you can always set the dates of payments, and then whatever date that you're on, you could just go ahead and print them out, right? So here I want them to be printed on this, okay? Now there are a few things that you can do when you go to OK. So what options do you want to print it on? You can use voucher style, which allows you to give you the details of what the bill you're paying for. And then at the bottom have the check at the bottom. This is primarily geared towards paychecks. Okay, you definitely want to do standard. Standard is a regular 11 by 8.5 sheet that allows you to print about multiple checks in one page, and they're perforated, so you can rip them out and send them out. Or you could do wallet size, which is the standard, actually small size checks. Whichever way you feel is best for your company. In this case, I would want to do standard because we're printing about maybe 6 or 7 checks, right? And again, number one thing that you have to do before printing out anything is you need a signature. You cannot send a check without a signature. So make sure that you stamp in your signature on there. Again, we can go here. If you have the mouse pad or the tablet, you'd be able to mark in here, but they do not allow a mouse to do it. It has to be like with a stylus pen and that tablet form kind of thing. So no, we cannot just physically write in here. It does not allow us. However, it also allows us to photocopy a scan of our signature and allow us to upload it. Okay, so oftentimes, right, you don't, especially when you are doing paychecks every week or every 2 weeks, right? Your best bet, if someone isn't there to sign, or if you're not there to sign those checks, this is what this validation does for you. It automatically says, okay, I have the approval, so this is, obviously checks are going to be obviously approved, because, employees need to get paid. But in this case, so this is what I can do. I can go ahead and do a printed signature or a scan of a signature and click OK. Now, obviously, I'm not going to print my checks, so I'm just going to cancel this. All right. And just leave these checks in the printer. All right. And the last thing that we want to look at is going to be a standardized report on bills that have been paid. Correct? Is it bills that we've been paid? Vendor balance details reports for all transactions. So I can go to my reports, either menu bar or report center, go to vendors and payables, and be able to click at vendor balance details. Okay, so once I do that, I can toggle the date from when these are, and I selected all. So this is all existing bills or transactions that have occurred throughout my list of transactions. So here I have it based on each customer, and all of these were pretty much, half of these are the transactions we just entered in. So you can print this by clicking print, and that is it. So that was a lot of things that we learned. Again, chapter 4 is probably the most hefty chapters that you can deal with, especially because, your vendors consist of a big, huge portion of your business. It's where you're making contact with either the suppliers for your store, merchant, or people that sell, equipment to run the store, or even furniture to make your store look, ready for you to sell whatever service that you provide or product that you do. So anything that has to do with that. Another thing too is they could also be your 1099 workers, people that you, you hire to work for you, but you don't put them on your payroll system. Okay, they could be your commission-based people. They could be your sales representative. Okay, so vendors is it's a good chunk of the business. So a lot of things happen in this problem here. Okay, so yay. Now that we're done, okay, so any special